First thing on the agenda is comments, suggestions, and petitions by residents in attendance regarding items not on the agenda. Seeing none, we'll move on to the discussion items. A is the Garage Management Monthly Report.
For you. Good. So I want to go over the monthly report. Start with the Bicentennial Garage. Transient parking was 53,352 for October, and it was up $850 to the budget and over 2,000 over prior year. So another good month. Monthly was 39,785. That was down 2,500 from budget, but up 533 over last year. Special event was 3,530, which was up over budget. Budget was $2,000. Variance was 3,530. So I guess the chili cook-off went very well. Total for the month was 97,452, up 235 over budget and up 6,000 over the prior year. Year-to-date numbers for Bicentennials, 501,789, down 23,225 to budget, but up 21,000 over prior year. So good numbers there. And what's helping overall, so the year-to-date, 898,156. Year-to-date, it's down budget 62,000, but up 19,049 over the prior year. So what's helping with that is the special events. And transient is really doing well for you guys. For Chestnut Garage, transient was 51,793, up over budget 11,000. Variance versus prior year was 14,516. So Chestnut Garage still continues to grow. Monthly 85,802, 1304 over budget, and variance was 7,755. Special event was 5760, which variance again was 5760 versus prior year. Validations 3187, down 313, but up 877 over last year. Total for the garage for the month was 146,542, which was up 17,000 over the budget and up 28,908 over prior year. So Chestnut still seems to be the moneymaker for the township. Year to date was 408,155, up 9,413 over variance over budget, and up 64,000 over prior year. Monthly was 762,946, down 82,000, which was that losing that Moody's account, still hurting us there. Down 21,943 over prior year. Total for the month for Chestnut, 1,220,808, down 60,000 over budget, but up 68,706 over last year. So strong month for you guys there. Combined transient 105,145, up 12,000 over the variance over budget, and up 16,000 over prior year. Year-to-date numbers there is 909,943, down 13,000, but variance versus prior year was 85,722, which is again very strong numbers. Monthly seems to be carrying it. Monthly is still down a little bit. 125,587, down 1,200 to budget. The year-to-date number, though, is a little better. It's down now 34,436 over the prior year. So hopefully this coming year we can make up some of that. And I've talked with Ramsey about, we were talking about possibly getting to the business association and seeing if we could pick up some there. Special events, very strong at Chestnut, 9,290. Budget's over 6,200 over previous year. So 9,290 for the verse over last year. Year to date, $24,000 to the good for the special events, which is really helping the year to date numbers. Total, $2,118,964. That's year to date, down over budget of 122,000, but up year to date 87,755. Looking to have, again, going into some strong numbers. I'm looking forward to, we have the Christmas parade coming up, which is going to be another big draw. Hopefully the weather holds, and we should pick up a lot of ground there. So we're going in an upward trend, which is good. The opportunity again is the monthlies, which Ramsey's working on that, and we had some conversations about that. The garages are clean. The only thing we're going to do next year is do it closer in the summer, so it's not as disruptive. We need to do a better job at that and schedule that in like July, which should be better. Other than that, that's where we are right now. We're coming up to starting at December 4th is the new installation of the flash equipment, which is going to be a real big player for you guys. It's a beautiful system. No, we don't have any issues with it in Philadelphia where we have all for the hospitals. So it's a good system. It's really going to help. So that should even make you money, which is going to be good. Any questions on anything with us?
Seeing how significant the special events are, I want to strongly encourage some coordination with the business district and getting validation into our system as a regular part of our downtown. I think that is super important. So please keep going on that one.
So with the new flash equipment, you can actually set up validation like scanners that they can do their own. Instead of printing tickets out, they can just scan it, and it's very easy, and it goes right to the account. So
that would be beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing.
Like, please make that happen.
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? You guys? Okay, great.
The special events, as Councilwoman Vaquero is talking about, the Halloween parade, the net proceeds stay within the borough. The Chili Festival, Ramsey, do we share that portion to offset the cost of the police and public works with the Rotary? Because I know we're going to be doing it with the Christmas parade. That's the only thing we do with the Christmas parade. Okay. The Christmas parade, we talked is about, it'll be $20 to pull in there. And we're supposed to be sharing some of the proceeds with the Chamber of Commerce on that one.
Got it.
So, yeah. All right, thank you.
On your end, right? That'll be
Yeah,
accounting.
yeah, on our end for accounting. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Tom Walsh, the 18 West Minor Street, speaking as a commercial real estate agent and realtor. I have parking, or I have properties to lease uptown in the downtown area. What percentage approximately of the parking garages is long-term leasing?
Long-term percentage, I'm not sure. I can get that information. It's probably, I mean, during the week, I want to say maybe half of the garage.
There's still availabilities though for long-term. If I had people that wanted to lease a space and,
Absolutely.
okay, there's still plenty of space.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know whether there's a cutoff or reach a maximum.
No,
So-
we're not maxed there yet.
Okay,
No.
fine.
Bicentennial though is we're really not taking anything there. That garage
Okay,
is-
I'm more interested in Chestnut Street.
Yeah,
Would be
absolutely.
fine.
So if you call the garage and talk to Dina, she can get you set up. It's
Okay.
very easy. They go to a website, they sign up, and then they pick up the pass cards right at the office with you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Welsh, for the record, can you tell us what you declared to be long-term leasing?
Monthlies, basically, during the business week, if employees lease our space and they need parking space for 5 or 6 days during the week, I know that it's available at Chestnut Street parking.
It's for business hours.
Business hours, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for business usage and so on. That's the big concern. Some of the downtown properties do not have parking and will never have parking, and they normally make arrangements We had one tenant that we were going to have, they already leased space from the borough in the Chestnut Street garage, but they didn't come over to us. They stayed where they were. So, but it's always a concern. Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to the director's report.
Okay. Hello. This should be quick. I'm pretty sure everything's posted. Well, it should be posted. We posted everything, pretty much 2-block radius around all voting precincts for election day, whether it was requested or not. The office will be closed tomorrow for training, and all parking needs will be handled by police. So you can call the non-emergency number. They won't be dealing with residential permits though. So mostly just state issues. We will need to start thinking about lot 10 and lot 7 leases coming up at the next parking committee meeting. So I was going to contact Bonnie Sadek, the JLo Properties people, and Brian McFadden to start discussing those. And then we had a bunch of right to know requests come in. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that our legal bills might be a little higher this month. We're going to start working on the Chapter 104 rewrite. We're going to work with police on that to just do similarly to what we did with Chapter 77 to clean up that for our citations. And we're going to also need to start working on the RFP for the garages, which we have an extension that we did last year, and that's good through August. Not that we don't like REEF, but it's just standard practice. The monthly revenue for the month of October, wow, it's already November. Ticket revenue was at 139,370, so that was up a bit. Posting revenue was at 4,921. We have a lot of paving and road work. Lease revenue was at 540. Meter revenue 165,437. So it's down a little bit. Permit revenue was at 7,390. We did start booting again, so we made $600 in boots. It's quite a frantic. Never dealt with booting before. It's scary, and I don't like it. So the total revenue for the month was 317,659. And that is director's report.
I would thank you for the director's report.
Yes.
And I do want to say, looking at that chart, I would like to move our finances away from ticketing and booting and more towards services provided as much as possible.
Sure.
That's it. And
Well, I do think the new system at the garage will be really nice to partner with like Uptown Theater and the businesses, and Flash really, I mean, the things that you can do with that are really great. So I'm really excited about that. So hopefully that'll be,
I think that's going to be a wonderful addition and
yeah.
change.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
So let's go through the notification process for ordinance 2022-11 on Adams Street.
I don't have anything new. I don't think any changes have been made. So we'll table. Yeah.
Still waiting. Let's
Yep.
keep waiting. Are we good to move on?
Yep.
All right.
Kara, I have a question about the right to know. Please, the right to know administrator is Mr. Metric. Is that your position? For 9,000 emails, how do you determine do we go through all 9,000 emails, or do we, it seems quite a bit excessive. And I don't know the verbiage they asked for, but in my opinion, it should have been rejected, being that large, to be something extremely specific of what they were asking for, due to the fact that the lawyer has to go through every single email.
No, you're absolutely right. And there's provisions in the right to know law to deny requests for being overly broad. And in cases where we do get requests like that, we do. So there are, I know in this particular case, I can tell you offline what happened. Okay. But we don't pay this, we're not paying the solicitor $195 an hour to read 9,000 emails, if that's your question.
Yeah,
We're
my
not doing
question
that.
is, the request seemed extremely broad. And right to knows are supposed to be extremely specific of what they're looking for, or close to specific within horseshoe range, like Bill Mann throws horseshoes in his neighborhood. But hopefully we rejected the request and asked them to resubmit what they were looking for.
We always take the approach that it's best to communicate with the requester about what, and find out exactly what it is they're looking for, and then we can narrow down the search. So it's a dialogue. We don't just outright deny things. We'll call the person up, we'll have a solicitor dialogue with that person, and we can get things, we can usually get at what they're looking for. with
Have we done that?
With
Have we-
that conversation.
If-
Have we done that? Okay. And how are we going to proceed?
She rescinded it today after
Okay.
a conversation.
Moot point.
Yeah. yeah,
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. Action items. A is approve a lease agreement for Lot 5 and United Methodist Church.
So after much debate, I don't have an official lease, but hopefully I think we all have an agreement and an understanding that I can get, if we're good with the terms today, I'll get in writing for work session. So we'll have an actual lease agreement to approve.
If we can get that out to all of council beforehand, I would
Yes.
greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, that'll be ready for the work session packet.
We have B. Should we pause here?
Oh, what?
Okay. B is approve handicap parking.
Oh, did you want to go through it? Do you want to go through the lease?
Should we
Yeah.
go through it?
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't want to steal your thunder.
Okay, we will just have it. I'm like, all right, send it to everyone.
I'm sorry. So the church did provide us with option 3 that they had previously mentioned. We did meet with, what is your official title? Because you have so many titles. You're Dr., Reverend, Pastor. Okay. So we met with Dr. Reverend Truman and Brian Travis, and Sean and I met with, and we went over option 3 that they provided. And then we came up with option 3.5, which I went over with Truman today, and I think we're comfortable. If you are all comfortable with, and that would be to extend the lease with the church at the current day rate of Bicentennial Garage, which is $95 per space. And the plan would be that they would be held at whatever the market rate is at Bicentennial. And the goal is that all garages would also be the same rate. I don't know why Chestnut and Bicentennial are different. Lease spaces will be available Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then after the end time, the spaces will move to kiosk public parking. Instead of utilizing a plate system, we'll order hang tags, which the church will reimburse us for. And they can only use the 18 leased spaces. We'll figure out, we sort of brainstormed about how the hang tags will work, but we can work out the logistics of that. And the hang tags will say the usage details on them. And if you forget your hang tag and you get a ticket, you get a ticket. And then we can also accommodate for large gatherings and events at the church, like other lots, that we can utilize that space and post the lot if they're having, funerals or weddings. We'll update the signage in the lots, but we do need to agree on the length of the lease. We're open. I know our department's open to extending it further than a year, since it does guarantee some revenue. So that's something we do need to determine either tonight or with full council. So
Where was the church's request?
I think
And,
they had asked for 5 years.
okay. And what are your thoughts, Bernie?
My, my thought is that the lease should be the same as every other major user, which the maximum is 2 years. Since it's tied to it was, in my mind, it was never tied to income. It was tied to usage. So, but everybody should have the same expiration date. The large users, some of them only have 1 year, some have 2 years. The county has 2 years.
Mhm.
So they would be on the same as the county. And then it would just renew every 2 years. And if we have a rate increase at bicentennial, it'll be whatever it is. So that's my feeling on it. So that way we're standardized
Yes.
and we're consistent with everything.
Yeah,
And we don't have to worry about special side deals or whatever's going on.
I love that. So thank you to the church for going through this process with us. Thank you for everybody else's input and expertise. And I think we're going to be moving towards a better place. I think 2 years is a compromise, and we're going to try to go ahead with that one, if that's okay with everybody here. Yes, I keep trying to figure out where that is. Okay, go.
Exactly. I'm the Reverend Dr. Truman Thomas Brooks III, if you want the full name. 335 Price Street, pastor of Westchester United Methodist Church. It feels nice to stand up here at this podium and not speak with a confused or frustrated or angry voice, okay? Tonight, I'm very positive due to the movement we've seen from borough officials over the parking issues concerning lot number 5. In mid-August, the Borough Council was considering revoking our leases for 18 parking spaces within 60 days. Many of our members, children's center families, and neighbors showed up to voice their discontent. And over the last 2.5 months, we've done our due diligence, questioning, doing the math, looking again at the needs of our organizations and the needs of the borough. We met with borough officials numerous times. We've sent tons of emails. We prayed a lot. And in option 3.5, we see a solution that is workable. Not cheap for us, not easy to implement on our end, but workable. We've compromised, agreeing to pay over 3 times the amount per space than we have been paying, agreeing to have the hours of the lease restricted. Presently, the spots are leased 24/7, pretty much, and these hours will be cut by more than half. Agreeing to work with a new enforcement system for us rather than allowing us to police our own spots, as we have been doing. And the borough has compromised, backing off from their initial intention to place the spots into a yearly lottery, allowing us to lease these spots at all and for longer than a year. We were hoping for 5. We didn't, equity is what we're about too. So, if everybody can get 5, that would be fantastic. If everybody gets 2, that's what we have to live with. That's fine. Allowing us to lease these spots, allowing us to use a hanger system for enforcement rather than a plate system. That is difficult, but I think it'll work for all of us well. I'm proud to say, though painful and at times deeply frustrating, this has been democracy at work, and you are fulfilling your role, as stated in the mission statement of the Westchester Borough Council, to continually advocate for active citizens' involvement in local governments and recognizing the right of citizens to influence local decisions. We spoke, you listened, we worked together, we are grateful, okay? So thank you to Mayor DeBaptiste, Borough Manager Sean Metrick, Parking Director Ramsey Reiner for helping to craft option 3.5, and thank you to the Borough Council for considering it. And I do have 2 quick questions, wrote them right down here. Will you consider not putting this option into effect for at least 60 days so that we can get through Christmas without a major policy change? We didn't list a timeline here for when this would start, but our present lease said 60 days to revoke. So maybe you would consider that. And can we nail down the lease? But I think you've already answered that. Probably 2 years is what we'll do. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again. I appreciate all the time and effort all of you have put in and the willingness that you have shown to work with us. So thank you very much. Okay, now shall we move on to approve handicap parking?
Yes.
Quarterly applications at 710 South Adams Street and removal of 119 Magnolia Street.
Yes, and I would, after surveying, we would recommend for both. Yeah.
So let's do that then. Sure with that, Bernie?
Okay.
Approve resolution to revise the fee schedule?
So this would I actually just would like some insight, and I have a little worksheet really quick that I would like, which I did not. Could you, okay, this. So we have in chapter 77, a few new permits, and we'll do the new fee resolution next year, which we do annually. But I wanted to just make sure, to me, I would assume that all permits would be the same cost as they currently are. So a resident permit, a renter permit, a student rental permit would all be $14 because that is what they currently are, and they're all pretty much the same thing. A property management permit, we would probably charge $14 if everyone's comfortable with that. That'll also be a hang tag. And again, we can revisit this at the next year when we have a better idea of usage, since we're testing this out. But I wanted to know, because in the ordinance, it gives us the option to do a special permit. So we could do, if you're having a visitor that's having, you're having like a party and you want to have extra guest passes, or you have a guest visiting for a longer extended period of time, I wanted to know if you could help come up with a fee for the cost of this, because we don't have it in the fee schedule. So we don't have a mechanism to charge for this right now. But we do get those requests every once in a while. So we had the lifting debacle of 2023. And right now we don't have anything in place. So, I'm trying to come up with something that we can offer residents for extenuating circumstances. That would be a special permit fee that would be fair.
It's for next year, right?
Well, this is, since we're doing the ordinance now,
Okay.
I wanted to have something to go with it.
How long does most people ask you that they can stay as a guest?
I mean, we've had
After
people,
3 days,
right now, guest passes are when they start to stink.
yeah, I stopped.
Yeah, I mean, a guest pass is good for 5 consecutive days, and after that, then it's guest pass abuse. So we've had people say we're having a family reunion and we have people staying for over a week. Can we get another permit? We do have the option now in the ordinance to do something, but we don't have a fee on the fee schedule to charge for that. We could just say, sure, and not charge.
Well,
If we want to charge, we have to have a fee.
That's never the way I look
Right.
at things. The Mr. Jingles likes money. The finance team, we can't, like the Reverend said, they prayed a lot. I pray a lot every time we do our budget. Because we're fixed. The permit stuff is such a pain in the tail to start out with. And why do we want to make it more cumbersome if it's $6 for a guest pass for a week, right?
Mhm.
It should be $6 for if they call and say they're staying longer,
Mhm.
but at the end of the second week, they can't get the guest pass. Every time we add another layer,
Mhm.
it becomes more confusing.
Yes.
Guest passes should be $6 for 7 days, in my world.
So we could do a temporary guest pass for 5 days for $6.
Yeah, why make it more difficult on your team?
How much is a week of parking at a meter?
Oh, that's a good question. It's $21 a day for a meter.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I think for permits like this, it's not really the goal of the department to recoup money, but it is a goal that when you put another car on a block, you're pushing your neighbor's car off the block. And so that's the
I'm
only
not
thing.
trying to
that-
make money. I'm
Oh,
trying
no,
to-
no, no.
I'm trying to control
Yeah.
where people are parking. So if I live on North Darlington Street and there is not an alley behind my house and I want to throw a party and I just have to pay $6 a car for
Right.
the week,
Right.
that means what? How much, if I charge you $10 to come to my party
Right.
and then I got, no, that's not okay.
Right.
Top of that, you got Chick-fil-A. Yeah, that costs a fortune. Yeah, in government, not just this government, but government loves to make things confusing.
Yeah.
Let's keep it as simple as possible. If it's $6 for a guest pass, whatever the term is, it is.
The
But-
term, Bernie's a year.
Huh?
That's $6 for the year.
Yeah. Just for the whole year?
Well,
No,
so I would
wait.
like to make it a temporary, like 24-hour or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
these are our guest passes. So this is our
it's
guest pass. So
Yeah.
that'll stay. That's our $6
How
guest
long?
pass.
That's $6 for how long?
That's the $6 hang tag that you get for so it's your $6 for the year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Doesn't have permits.
Luckiest block in the whole borough.
So
My block is not permanent.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
that recoups the expense of the hang tag. So I don't think that's a big deal. I'm more concerned about like if you're,
no, the special permit guest
Yeah.
tags
yeah.
are what it's different. If they're two permanent guest tags, that's for.
I yield to you because you understand it.
I know these permits. They're
You don't even know what we're talking about.
So the way this works is I pay $14 for my car, and then if I want two guest passes, I can buy those two. So I can pay $12 and get two passes so that when my mom comes to babysit my kids, she can park in front of my house. So for 1 year, I get these tags, and then it's my job to manage where they go. But if I'm just super friendly, and since I live near the university and I want to give it to some girl who just kind of needs a parking spot, I can. And all she has to do is not park there 5 days in a row and she won't get in trouble. It's a bit of an issue, I think.
Yeah.
But that's a different.
I'll let you handle it. Having 6 kids and 14 grandkids and they all come visit.
Yeah.
We don't have any parking
Don't have
problems.
parking permit
so-
issues. I know.
Should we hold off?
No, I want it to be more equal to a
Like a parking meter?
parking meter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I do. If you want to, Price Street is wide open, permit parking.
Yeah.
Charge it like it's a parking meter.
Yeah.
And they can pay for it and they can get it if they want it. Or they can just park on Wayne, which is not permit.
So should it be $21?
And I'm not
Car.
doing it to make money. I'm doing it to try and control how many of these cars are taking up neighbors' spots. No, you live in town. I'm sorry.
Does anyone else? Does
Anyone
anybody
else
have any
want to
thoughts on
say?
this?
Come and argue against me. Please do it. Make me
Live in
change my
town, yeah.
mind.
What do you?
Darrell Cook, South Walnut Street. The first extra special guest pass, whatever, you want a second one, it should be doubled. If you're bringing 2 extra cars on my block, we don't have the space.
So I'm saying more than doubled. So you're with me? Did he just support me? No. What did he? Right? Why? No, he doesn't want these cars there. I don't want the cars there.
Why don't we just talk about that later?
We'll talk about this more later. Okay, let's move on to approve the parking meeting minutes. Are we good? Okay. Is there any other business? Hearing none, let's adjourn. Thank you so much.